Well, you know, my grandmother's prayer for me was let little Chris go into the world and preach the gospel. And when I was asking Pat Boone, who'd been so instrumental in my whole career, to write a foreword to the book, he said, well, why did you call it Grandmother's Prayer? And I told him about my grandmother's prayer. And Pat just was kind of stunned, and he said, that's pretty much my mother's prayer for me. So we realized that his mother was praying that God would use all of his talents to go into the world. And my grandmother was praying the same thing. And sure enough, when I come to Nashville, the first person I call that gives me the first budget for my album by Dogwood was Pat Boone. And then he would become an influence from then on. He'd introduced me to Mike Curb when Mike Curb was looking for someone to replace Steve Kipner, which became Cotton Anointing Christian. That was my first pop hit records. And Pat was just always instrumental throughout my career. When we moved to Beverly Hills, I mean, we'd go to church at the same place, we'd go out to dinner, we'd lunch after church. He and Shirley were the godparents of our oldest child, Courtney. And Pat and I would play tennis every weekend. And we were just really close friends, and he was a great inspiration and a friend to me. And it's just amazing that I think about now when I ask him to do a foreword for my book, A Grandmother's Prayer, that we realized in Nashville, Tennessee, his mother was praying for Pat Boone to go into the world and do some great things with this talent. And my grandmother in Abilene, Texas, was praying the same thing. And they didn't know each other. And God answered both of those prayers, his mother's prayer and my grandmother's prayer, a lot by using Pat and I together.